Let's continue with our discussion of the Records menu, but I want to remind you the Records menu is a scary place. If you go up to the Records menu, you'll see that you have Delete Record, Delete Found Records, and as we'll find out, Replace Field Contents and Relookup Field Contents, which can be disastrous. Delete Record's not so bad. It deletes just one record permanently, but Delete Found Records is really scary. Could delete every single record in your entire database. Replace Field Contents is really scary. So again, I want to remind you that it's a good idea to make sure that you use security and custom menus to eliminate these items from normal use. Even from yourself, you might make the mistake. But especially from your users, because they're just trying to get their job done. They may go up to Delete Record, but accidentally choose Delete Found Records, not read the subsequent dialog, and accidentally delete everything. So don't make them trip and fall. Don't give them the chance to trip and fall. When we get to the security section, the custom menu section, pay attention because you can prevent a lot of problems from happening. And one other thing I want to point out is that if you hold down the Option or Shift key, you'll notice that Delete Record changes, right? The dots go away. That's because if you hold down the Option or Shift key when you're doing that keyboard command or choosing the menu item, so Shift for Windows, Option for Mac, it will delete without the dialog, which is kind of nice if you're really sure, if you're trying to delete a bunch of records really quickly, but also beware, it could be very scary. So let's go on to Replace Field Contents, because we're going to skip this stuff right now because it's covered in later sections. But the Replace Field Contents and Relookup Field Contents and Revert Record are all dimmed. Well, let's find out why. These two features right here require the cursor to be in a field. So we'll come over here and click into the Name First field. Come up to Records and you can see it's now available. Replace Field Contents can now work its magic. And I call it magic, but it's really the kind of magic that can blow up in your face. It's more like playing with fire, right? You got to watch out about this. It can be extremely useful, but it also can blow up in your face. And I've done it myself many times, so you got to be careful. Because what it does at a basic level, and there's many things it can do, is it goes through all of your records in the found set. In this case, that would be 43 records, right? And puts the same value on every record. So if we did it right now, it would put Bob on every single record. And that's probably not a good thing. So let's show you how to use this in a real life scenario. Let's say we're in our contact manager and we go, oh, you know what? I need a category. I want to categorize every contact. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Manage Database and create a new field called Category. We'll hit Create, go into Options, click on Data, and type in Commercial. Now what this is going to do is put on every record, every new record, the word commercial. Eventually we'll have a pop-up menu on that field so you can change it, but let's say your most common choice is commercial. You might have, things like nonprofit and schools and who knows what else choice you might have from the category pop-up menu, but commercial is the most common, so what you decide to do is have it auto-entered, and you can change it if it's different on this particular contact. So we'll click OK. Click OK again, and you'll notice that the category field's not on here, so we have to add it. Remember, the reason it's not on here on my screen is because in Preferences, in the Layout tab, we uncheck this. What we need to do is Edit Layout Mode, get the Field tool, find the category field, and click OK. Then we can exit Layout, but you'll see that there's no word commercial in there. Why is that? Well, it only happens on new records. You'll see that any new record gets the word commercial. So you need to be aware that all of your existing records don't have commercial on it. Well, that's where this Replace Field Contents can come in handy. You've got a bunch of records that you just put into the database, maybe by an import or who knows how, or they existed already, and you want to put the same value on them. Well, Replace Field Contents will do that very quickly. So I'm going to get rid of this record right now, and then we're going to click into the category field, and then we're going to go to Records, Replace Field Contents. Now you'll notice that when we get in there it says replace with nothing. That's because what you have to do is type in what you want to be on every record. So let's hit cancel. We'll type in commercial. And now when we choose replace field contents, it says, oh, let's take commercial from the current record and put it on all 43 records of your found set. Not the 46, just the 43. So your found set plays a part in here. You need to make a found set of what you want to actually put this value on. Now there's some other choices in here like serial numbers and calculate a result, which we'll go over later. They're much more complicated. But this is a very common one to use and very easy to use. Just realize it's permanent. Be careful when you're doing it. Maybe even make a backup before you do it. So we'll hit replace, and then you'll notice that we have commercial on every single one of those records. So that's really handy to do.